Ladies and gentlemen, podcasting since 2005. You're listening to Gamertag Radio. With your hosts, podcaster Hall of Famer Danny Pena, the always opinionated Paris Lilly, and from outside of the norm, Peter Toledo. This is Gamertag Radio.
All right, welcome to Gamer Tag Radio episode 1122. This is your host, Danny Pena, all the way from Los Angeles. But wait, all the way also from Switzerland, Europe. We have the one and only, and he used to be a DJ, Pete Rock. What's up, Pete?
I don't know what that has to do anything to do with it.
I know.
What's up, dude? How you doing?
I had to do some new introductions for you, man. You know, so yeah, a lot of people don't know because we're having a lot of like new listeners lately, you know, and people don't know you used to be a DJ, man. All South Florida, even for GTR. I think if anybody download the Gamertag Radio app, the old one from iOS and Android, you can still listen to Pete's DJ sessions that he did exclusively only for
episode
for the app.
300.
Was it for 300 too?
Yes, it was episode 300. It was a live mix too that I did. And that was interesting because, like, obviously DJing at clubs or DJing at home or doing production DJ stuff for websites, it's one thing. But as I was doing it and we were chatting with the audience, I was listening live. It was really dope because it was like people were asking me, like, "Oh my god, I haven't heard this song in forever. Who is this? What track is this?" I was like, "Yo, that transition was dope." It's different. And then it's funny because now, like, what is it, like 10 plus years later, you have a whole bunch of crazy DJs out on Twitch and doing their live shows. D Nice started it up huge for DJs when the pandemic started. Obviously, we've got Miami's own DJ Craze doing it up big 2 or 3 nights a week. From Slow Roast Records. He does it on Twitch. And it's the interaction part is so nuts because sometimes you're just so focused on the music or when you got a specific blend or you're going for a specific transition and then you're talking or you're chatting with people on the thing. It's pretty cool. But I mean, music is my life, right? It always has been. And it's just one of my avenues of escape for me.
Will you do that again? I think you should bring it back one day, man.
I don't have any of that, dude. I got rid of everything again.
Really?
Like when I moved, I sold the controllers. I sold all my mixing gear. I mean, obviously, I still have all the music in digital format, but
it's not the same. Like when you do all digital.
I mean,
like
just looking out there, if there's anybody from Native Instruments or Rain or anybody or Pioneer, you want to sponsor the show and get me a brand new DJ gear, brand new DJ setup, I will not tell you no. But yeah, absolutely. I mean, I wouldn't mind doing it.
Yeah. We should figure that out. And one of these days I'm going to post a link of one of Pete's old DJ sessions
I'm sure you
Twitter.
Can find it out there.
Dude, I gotta do that because it was so dope. It was so good, and honestly, no other podcast was doing that at that time. No other podcast. I think we were the only one promoting like unsigned artists. It was so dope. It was so cool. We should do that again. You know what I'm saying? So, all right. So Paris is not going to be joining us here on this episode, but he is going to be joining us later this week to talk about Returnal. That's coming out for the PlayStation 5 very, very soon. Don't know the exact date, but he's been playing out for like a couple of days. And you know what's crazy, Pete? I'm looking at his Twitter, like his tweets for the past few days ever since he got the game. Okay. And he's like struggling. It's so hard. and here's the question. And, we're going to go over the topics in a few seconds here. But I'm super curious to see how the media and the content creators are going to review this because I guarantee you none of them completed this game. There's no way they completed this game. It's that hard. So
is it though?
It is tough. Everybody that I talk to, they're struggling. Every single, even the ones that I'm like, I can see them going far. Even they are struggling. So I'm wondering how, and from you, like, as a content creator, when is the right time for you, be like, okay, you know what? I had enough. I think this is good for me to post my review, my impressions, because do you have to complete the game completely to review a game, or go far enough that you're like, you know what? I already know enough information for me to talk about it on the podcast. For me, I'm more of like, I don't have to complete the game. If I complete it, that's a plus. But if I'm far enough, I think it's the right time for me to talk about it. That's me personally. What about you?
Yes and no, because sometimes the beginning, sometimes you could hit critical junctions in a game which change the dynamic of either the story or the experience in general. Have there been times where we haven't been able to finish the game in time for a review? Yes, at least from my perspective, yes, I have definitely done that. But is it mandatory that you have to finish it? I wouldn't say no. I think it's more, as long as you can get the overall gist of what the developer, the story writer, et cetera, was trying to do with the game, and be able to explain that. And because remember, you're not walking people through the game. You're talking about your specific experiences and how it relates to the game and your experience and time playing with it. And in that regards, I mean, you can definitely do that. These days, I think it's changed because now we've got content creators playing the game live. We've done that. We've introduced games live here on our Twitch channel, playing it. I know we did that with the Division 2, with like the first launch. We were very, very, critical with that. And we were playing the game live, and saying, this is the intro. This is us going through this first boss fight. So in those regards, you're doing it live, right? So you're not doing it from memory or from notes that you've written down. But I think it's up to the person, and as long as whether it's a creator or the writer, the journalist, et cetera, can get the overall gist of the game, along with their opinions, their likes or dislikes or criticisms, and get those out. And as we always say, do it out in a professional way. Then why not? As long as you can as long as you can put your opinion out there in a professional manner that's easy to understand. And I mean, at the end of that, that's all we're really looking for, right?
Yeah, totally agree. But yeah, for those are watching or listening, please let us know. Are you planning to get this game? Do you love that type of game difficulty? Like I love Cuphead. That game is really, really hard, and I finished it. So there's gonna be people that, like you, Pete, don't like that type of game, and there's some that just like, yo, I'm going all the way. F it. Let's see what happens. You know what I'm saying? So yeah, let us know if you plan to get this game, and I can't wait to talk to Paris about it, man, because I have so many questions about it. So many questions. So, all right. Head over to gamertagradio.com, post your comments and feedback, and also you can find us on any podcast app. Just search for Gamertag Radio. Just go, subscribe, follow us, share the content. That will help us out so much if you guys could share it and tell other people about GTR. Also, if you'd like to be part of our family discussions or segment, here's how you can contact us.
Send us your feedback or questions. Give us a call at 786-273-7GTR. Email us at fanmail@gamertagradio.com or leave a message on speakpipe.com/gamertagradio.
All right, so a couple people have been asking, Danny, how can I join the MLB The Show 21 online league? Is completely full right now. For now. So we're playing it. I noticed there's been like online issues just to get into the league. I get it. It's, I tried my best. I gave everybody over a week to join, but now that it's completely full, we're going to play the game. And once we finish, I'm going to do it again so we could do like a second season of this. So stay in touch. Just make sure to follow me on Twitter. I'll keep you guys posted. Oh, go to Discord. We've been chatting about it too, man. So I apologize if you couldn't join. It's completely full, but hey, we'll make it happen again. You know what I'm saying? Definitely going to make it happen.
Did you do that with all 30 teams? Or
we could change it. I have it. I have right now, I had it up to 10, and then I pushed it all the way to 16 because there was more people wanted to join. But look, I've been talking about it for days, to join, and I even waited. 'Cause, people have more time during the weekend to join, but by the time it hit Friday, it was already full. So I'm like, I don't know, I have to like advance this league, man. But the good thing about it is there's no schedule. It's basically like this, Pete. If you see anybody online, you just invite them. There's no schedule. You just select the game that you want, and you just gotta make sure that you complete all the games, and then it will advance to the playoffs if you have like a great season. You know what I'm saying? That's how it works. It's not like the old online league games where there's a schedule every week. No, it's not like that at all. I like this format because you could play whatever you want, and doesn't matter the time, the day, nothing. I like this. Really, really cool. Yeah. So now you know.
Got it.
All right. So we also gonna have a guest here. I'm gonna have Rihanna here, and we're gonna be talking about some games that I can't mention right now. That we're gonna be talking about something here that is only gonna be available on the podcast tomorrow. So just make sure to listen to the show because it's a pretty cool conversation. So just want to keep it like that. All right. So Pete, let's talk about the first news here. I'm excited about this. I'm excited because the other day, actually a couple weeks ago, I had a conversation with Paris about him. Like, yo, PlayStation has some awesome single player games, but yo, when was the last time they actually had like a all multiplayer game? It's been years. I think it's been since like PlayStation 3. The last thing that I can remember of like actual multiplayer game. Not forget about the single player game. Strictly multiplayer. Do you remember what was your last multiplayer game, Pete, from PlayStation? It's been so long.
PlayStation?
Yeah, it's been long. It's been years. Years.
Killzone? No, because Killzone had a single player campaign.
Yeah. Because remember, I'll take it back to Soulcom. Well, Black? Yeah, you were the one playing Black, right?
Yeah.
You talked about It's been years. It's been during the 360 PlayStation 3 era. That was the last time that I remember.
Is
like
that the
first
last
party.
game?
It could be. I think that was the last one. I can't remember exactly. But anyways.
But it was No, that was Criterion.
Yeah, but that was a PlayStation exclusive though.
No, because they had it for Xbox.
It wasn't?
Xbox 360.
Oh yeah. I'm talking about PlayStation exclusive, like first party. That was when was the last multiplayer game? Anybody that's watching this or listening to this, please let us know because I don't remember. Killzone 2 on PlayStation 3.
Shadowfall.
Soulcom. Yeah, it looks like Soulcom was like the last one, I think. I don't know. But anyways, let's move forward because I want to talk to Pete about this. So PlayStation blog announced that company PlayStation also developing a multiplayer IP from Destiny veterans, and this is from Firewalk Studios. This company is developers here that helped like franchises like Mass Effect and also Apex Legends from Respawn. And it's going to be launching in the future. This is going to be a AAA exclusive game for PlayStation. So I'm excited about this because this is really, really big. But what do you think about this, Pete? That PlayStation announced that they're working on a multiplayer AAA game. What did you think about that?
I mean,
I'm excited about it.
It's absolutely exciting. Obviously, you know me. I usually prefer the multiplayer experience usually over the single player. And that's just a personal preference. There's nothing wrong with that. But when you hear some of the names that are attached to Firewalk Studios, you've got Tony Hsu, studio head, former GM and senior VP of Destiny, Ryan Ellis, game director, previously the creative director at Bungie. And you have Elena Siegman, who's the executive producer, who used to be over at Irrational, Harmonix, and Bungie. So when you have a team starting off like that, with the funding and support of Sony Interactive, it sounds like it could be a win-win. You know, they do have a solid track record. You know, Sony does of getting really good multiplayer titles out there. Actually, you know what? If we're talking about, would it be Drive Club? Would that be? Because was there a single player experience for Drive Club?
Oh, Drive Club, but that's like I won't count that because that's like a racing. I'm talking about more of just like a shooter, Most likely this is going to be a shooter. I really thought this was going to be like a racing game, but
Right.
No,
well, I mean, sorry,
yeah.
and that game that just came up to my head. It was just like, wait a minute, we.
But technically you are right. I think that was the last.
Only.
Yeah, you are right. Which was a major failure, honestly. Yeah.
depends on who you talk to, because there are certain friends of ours in the industry that swear by that. But at the end of the day, I mean, it's very. I'm glad to hear that Herman Hulst over at Sony is dedicating resources at looking for a broad range of titles. I mean, I know they're also working on a new studio they just announced with Jade Raymond, formerly of Ubisoft, and obviously now she just left Stadia. So I'm there's another one that is going to be up in the mix, and then they have to do this. I mean, yes, they have an amazing launch with Horizon Zero Dawn. That was. Some can say, some people would say it was unexpected. They didn't know that was going to be, the smash hit that it was. Obviously, you've got their other legendary slate of titles. You've got Microsoft with 20 plus studios now under their belt. What is it, 26? I think.
Yeah, that's a lot of studios.
That's fine. Not all of those are AAA, but you need those. You need to drive creation. And how do you do it? You start getting veterans from around the world. And shout out to Blazing in the chat. Massive action game. That is the one that I was thinking of, but Black came out. That was the one that I always spent more time updating than actually playing.
Yeah,
but that might be it.
I'm excited. Yeah, I'm excited because here's the thing. Like I know. Look, Sony has been great when it comes to like single player games. But once I finish a game, I don't go back. I don't know. Like I'm, most of the time I don't go back unless I really love the game. I'll replay it again. But the majority, I finish it, move on, right? Mm. And honestly, I was not a fan of like multiplayer games in The Last of Us, Uncharted. Like I really didn't play that at all. Even with Tomb Raider, when it came out for Xbox, I was like, to me, that was more of like a single player experience. Multiplayer was just like, So I'm glad that they're focusing on a AAA multiplayer experience. I like that a lot, man. Because look, Xbox has been good with that throughout the years. With Gears and Halo, and aside from the campaign, probably people are gonna have like different opinions about it, but like still to this day, I could go to Halo 5 or the Master Chief Collection or Gears, and there's still people playing it on multiplayer, online. So I'm just curious to see what type of game is going to be. Something different. Is going to be like similar to other ones, Battle Royale, and all this stuff, man. So yeah, I'm excited to hear and learn more about this AAA game in the future. And look, I don't see this happening anytime soon. This is going to be like 2-3 years, maybe. We're probably going to find out more.
We'll likely be talking about the next generation platform at or around the same time that this game starts to come around. So
yeah. No, but this is good. And I'm glad that you're also excited about this, man. So
absolutely.
Yeah. Now this is crazy, Pete. This is another topic here, but last year, when CD Projekt Red released Cyberpunk 2077, it was all over the news where people wanted to get their money back and everything. So the other day, which technically I don't know why they did this, but CD Projekt Red announced the number of copies that they actually sold. Right? I don't know the top number. Maybe but I heard. And I also read about this, that the number of people that got refunds from all versions, from PC, Xbox, and PlayStation, was very, very small compared to what the media and everybody was making it seem like everybody wanted a refund. A lot of people kept their game, and there was a lot of people like they actually got their refund for this game, man.
Right. So first. They released it because as a publicly traded company, they always have to put out their financial statement, right? For the year.
That makes sense.
So that's why. So, I mean, you could search for it. It's like a 90-page financial document. Not going to say that I read it because I'm awake, obviously. That's not my type of tea. It's not what I want to do on Sunday afternoons. Actually spent it putting furniture together downstairs. But
congratulations.
No.
It's like
not that exciting. Not as exciting as a 90-page financial report.
Yeah.
But yes, they released information like they made over $560 million in total revenue for the title. They sold 13.7 million in 2020, and netted like over $300 million in profits alone, just for the game. But the returns, which, like you said, it was the confusing part, just over $2 million in total for refunds. I don't know if this includes Sony and or Microsoft refunds, because those are handled differently.
Okay.
But to see that this, and it doesn't detail, the percentages between PlayStation, Xbox, Steam, and other retailers. So I'm curious to see what that split was, right? Was it more Xbox? Was it more PlayStation? Was it more PC? But those were all done, in a way to help reduce some of that stress and strife from, just like the poor launch that it unfortunately suffered.
Yeah. It's pretty sad, man. When we were like so excited about the game and it came out, and I tried my best. Look, I completed the game. The story was pretty cool, but after that, I just stopped playing it because the game, just the experience was just too buggy. Sometimes I'm doing a mission and then I end up underground and everything else is on top of me and I'm stuck and I can't get out, or driving is just weird and it's just weird overall, man. So yeah, it sucks, man. It really, really sucks that this went down with this game, man. You know what I'm saying? But have you even tried to go back just to test it out or not really?
Beyond that first 2-3 week period where I sunk 70 hours probably into the game, I finished the game, but I haven't gone back since, knowing that they've released patch after patch after patch to fix all of the problems that were identified. There's still, an alarming amount of issues with the game, which we would have imagined had been fixed by April, right? Unfortunately. Because we're talking now 5 months post-launch. They're getting ready to release DLC, which personally, if you're not there yet with your bugs and post-game launch fixes, yes, you can have a dedicated team associated to getting ready for DLC for the coming year, which they've announced is going to be free for 21. But that game should be in as good a condition as it can or will be before you drop that, because that is likely going to break a lot of things potentially. Because you remember, going into software and code work, they're working on a fork of the game that's coming out. So unless the game that they're developing on has all the fixes, the moment that they put out that game, it's going to cause more. It could potentially, I'm not going to say it is, but it can potentially introduce a host of problems that you're going to have. So unless they fix it and then release the DLC, it's going to be very, very difficult for gamers to have the confidence of picking up of picking up the DLC and having fun.
No, totally agree. We're gonna go to the next topic because I have some questions here from the listeners, which and also I have a little surprise giveaway for those who are listening. So if you want to be involved, you gotta listen to the show towards the end. So it's super important. All right, so Pete, I got access to Xbox Game Pass, PC, and iOS. I don't know if you have, because anybody that has Ultimate will get this eventually. So anybody that has Game Pass Ultimate, you're gonna get it. I think that right now Xbox is sending it through time. Every week, there's I probably get like a group of people through waves that they'll get it. So have you gotten yours yet or no? Have you been checking your email?
No, I've not gotten it. I've checked.
Okay. All right. So I got mine's like way later. So, but I got the Android version for a very long time, since like the early beta days, right, of this. So, I got it. And here's the thing. I also tested out using my MacBook. I tested out because I know I will play Stadia also through my MacBook. And I was just curious, can this work? So I downloaded Microsoft Edge and I started playing it. Now, here's the thing that I noticed. When I played it on the PC, it was fine. A little lag. It was very, very, very small, the experience. And also, I was having a conversation with a couple people online, like Jess from Windows Central in Paris and a couple other people. They were telling me that certain games works great, and a lot of the 3D games, it lags sometimes. I'm like, all right, because I played Minecraft Dungeons. I really, really love that game, and it was a cool experience, right? So when I started playing it I played Outriders on my Mac. It was very laggy, like the first couple minutes, and then it started working, and I was playing it for like a good 30, 40 minutes. It was fine. And then the lag came back again. So I was doing everything wirelessly, like Wi-Fi on my Mac, Bluetooth on the controller, and it was fine for a while. But then the lag was coming back here and there. So this is a beta, so still early. They're gonna make the experience a lot better in the future. Because look, when you play the Android version, I don't get no lag, and it's been out for over a year now, and it's been great. So my question to you, do you see yourself trying this out? Because look, to me, I like this experience playing on a PC. And the reason is, I don't have, as of right now, I don't have a PC like you guys. But it helps me to continue playing some games. I don't have to download a bunch of games and fill up my storage because, I don't want to do that. I'd rather just stream it and just play as much as I can. Then once I'm done, I'll go and play it on my console and everything. But do you see yourself trying this out? Because it was so far a good experience, man, for me. It's not perfect, but it's getting there.
So it's surprising to hear that the PC would have difficulty simply because it's got more power, it's more able to support streaming than a mobile would, right? Obviously, you have more horsepower. You've got faster processing, memory, and assumedly, your hard drive is going to be comparable to what would be on a mobile. But it's surprising to hear that it's got this much difficulty with gameplay. If you look at the list of games that they're providing, remarkable, right? You've got some monster games. You got Zombie Army 4 on there. You've got Destroy All Humans, which I've always loved. But just the sheer number of PC games on Xbox Game Pass is incredible, right? And if that is what you're looking for, I mean, you're looking at Battlefield 1, 3, 4, 5, Hardline. Whether anybody's playing that is a different story.
Hey, you'd be surprised. You'd be surprised.
Flight Simulator, Mirror's Edge. I'm just looking at it. Need for Speed Deluxe, Need for Speed Heat, Most Wanted, still the best. Still the best Most Wanted of all time, or still the best Need for Speed of all time. Payback, Agreed. Rivals, Nier Automata, Become as Gods Edition, Burnout Paradise Remastered, Battletoads. You're welcome, Danny.
Hey, and I complete the game. The game is tough, but I completed it.
Code Vein, Crisis 2, Dead Space 2, Dead Space 3. You've got I'd probably say 100 plus titles on PC for Xbox Game Pass, right? So, and then obviously that game is going to always constantly be in that list is always going to be in flux as they add and remove some things. Like Thumper, they just removed out of Game Pass. Fractured Minds. So it's good to see that they're supporting it, but it's disheartening to see that Microsoft is not able to get the Game Pass going for Game Pass on PC. So I'm just going based on what I've seen and heard in the industry. I haven't had a chance to test it out this week. I will be testing it this week as we come up, and then I'll play around on my MacBook as well to see if maybe that's it. I'm curious if maybe because you're connected wirelessly that it's having an issue.
Well, I heard a couple things, and people gave me this tip because I think they were having the same issues with Stadia. They said to turn my locations off on a Mac. I'm like, really? He's like, yeah, trust me, just turn it off, because I think it was either I'm doing a Wi-Fi plus I'm have the location on and plus Bluetooth. It was just a lot. So I'm like, all right. And they said that the lag input would decrease a lot more. But I wasn't getting that type of that type of experience when I was playing it on my PC. Like, it was good. It was decent. Now, I do have to bring this up. I was curious. I started playing MLB The Show through Game Pass xCloud on my PC, and I noticed that the loading was like very, very long. And what I read online is, and they're gonna upgrade this, but as of right now, xCloud, think of it as like you're playing it like Xbox Series S, right? In the future, they're gonna upgrade the servers to the Xbox Series X experience, and the loading is going to be a lot faster and everything, man. So that's going to come out in the future. Another thing I want to bring up is people were asking me, Danny, why you have the controller connected to the PC? The reason was when I took that picture and I posted online, my battery is about to die. So I was like, I want to play this. Let me just connect it. And at the same time, it will charge. So I was doing it like that, man. But if I noticed a couple of people hit me up with this, they don't have an Xbox at all. They only have like a PlayStation 4 or 5, and they purchase an Xbox controller because they just want to play Xbox games, and they've been playing it through mobile, and now some of them have been playing also through PC via streaming, and they don't have an Xbox console. And you're going to see a lot more people in the future, and even smart TVs and all that in the future, you're going to see a lot of people that don't have an Xbox, and they're just going to subscribe because they rather pay monthly than just buying a console for like $499 or what, $399, $299 to actually play this, you know. So we're gonna see that too, man, you know. And I think that's pretty cool, you know. Like you have a Switch, you have a PlayStation 5, don't have an Xbox, you get the experience like this, man, you know what I'm saying? So I think it's cool. But you have any questions?
Most of the fixes that have allegedly fixed it has been, you know, clearing your browser data, clearing the cookies. If you're on PC or you're on your MacBook, try a different computer or a different browser altogether to see if it's working. And then make sure that you're properly logged in. You should be logged into like some people may have multiple accounts. So make sure that the account you're logged into currently is the one that is actually the subscribed Game Pass Ultimate account to fix it. Again, it's still in beta, so I guess it's to be expected that you're going to have issues. So it's just a matter of time before they fix it and just make it a viable solution.
Yeah, I mean, there is a section where you could click it and send feedback. Just tell them like your experience, and let's keep it real. They always will take that feedback and they make changes right away. So that crew over there at Xbox, they're really good at that. Mm-hmm. You know, when it comes to like feedback and making changes, they're awesome. Jason Ronald, his team and everything. So
yeah, and please, if you're in it, do the feedback. Let them know, because you know, a lot of people will just skip it and just ignore it and go on to the next. No, give them the feedback. They need that. That's the only way they're going to fix it. So just make sure that if you have the opportunity to be in it, to actually give back feedback and let them know. Yeah,
and I'm excited to see what else is going to come up in the future, man. So hey, I had a good experience. It was just weird on the MacBook. And remember this, have you noticed that Xbox is not promoting the MacBook at all? They're not promoting it. This is not because of competition or anything like that. It's because it's not ready. So of course it's going to be laggy. You know what I'm saying? So, but I had a better experience on PC. I haven't tried my tablet yet. I'm going to do that this week with that. So I'll let you know. I'll do a part 2 of my impressions. And we'll go from there.
The thing that they say is if you are on your Mac and you're using Safari, switch to Chrome, and that's supposed to fix it for you as well.
Well, actually, and I have to ask people: have you guys, whoever's listening, have you guys made it work through Chrome? Because for me, it wasn't working. I even tried that on my PC, and it wasn't working at all. So once I switched to Microsoft Edge, it worked perfectly. Like everything was fine.
I would say check your extensions. Some people used to have most people have a lot of extensions on their Chrome browser. You know, the little tools and applets that are up in the top right corner of it. Try turning them off and doing that, because all of those use up processor resources on your on whatever device you're on. So and everybody knows that Chrome is a memory hog. So just try turning off your extensions.
No, I will do that. But what I was trying to say, Pete, is when I launched it, like when you sign in, it says I have to get invited. I'm like, wait a minute, I did get invited. Like what the, But when I did it through Microsoft Edge, it worked fine. Like you see the store, you select the game, everything. So yeah, and actually you do everything when you go to xbox.com/play.
Got it.
And everything is there. Yeah.
You're listening to Gamertag Radio.
Today's show is once again sponsored by StrongVPN. Being in IT, I can't stress how important it is to have and use a VPN, especially in today's current state. Protecting your information is extremely important, and VPNs help you safely browse the internet. So whether you're watching a Twitch stream, gaming, or spending way too much time on social media, with StrongVPN, your connection is encrypted. And that's important because it means that no one else can spy on what you're doing. You can use a StrongVPN on your computers, tablets, phones. You can even install it on your router or TV and protect every single device in your household. And the best news, StrongVPN uses the latest generation VPN technology called WireGuard, which means it doesn't slow down your connection like other VPNs. For listeners of GTR, StrongVPN is also offering an incredible 65% off. That's just $3.50 for the first month or $27.99 for the year. And here's everything you get. You get apps for iOS, Android, macOS, Windows, and more. You get access to 950 plus VPN servers around the world, none of which log your information. That's super important. And there's more than 59,000 anonymous IP addresses at your disposal, protecting your personal privacy. So go to strongvpn.com/GTR. Claim your 65% savings. They've got plans starting at just $3.50 to $27.99 a year. So get started with this limited time offer and save 65% off your monthly or annual subscriptions. So just visit strongvpn.com/GTR. Once again, that's strongvpn.com/GTR to save 65%.
This is Gamertag Radio. Voicemail at 786-2737-GTR.
So we have questions, but I'm going to go now with my audio recording with Rihanna again about a game that we can't talk about. And, and remember, you'll listen to this on the podcast version once it comes out. And once we come back, we have fan mail questions. So we'll be right back after this.
This is Gamertag Radio. Voicemail at 786-2737-GTR.
Hit record then.
All right, now we're recording.
Now we're live.
So
Mics are hot.
We gotta behave.
Yeah, clean it up. Clean it up for the people listening.
Yeah. All right, welcome everybody for this is like another segment on Gamertag Radio that wasn't on the live stream. We had to record this at a separate time because we were under embargo about certain things here that we're going to be talking about. And I have my beautiful, beautiful girlfriend, Rihanna.
That's really generous of you, considering I'm sitting here in a onesie with my hair a mess. I appreciate that.
You look good. Always look good. By the way, I don't know, how do you want me to present you? G4, what's good? I don't know, you got to tell me because I want the right, the right title.
The right title and intro. It's tricky because I do a little this and a little that. But currently, I am Rihanna, Senior Manager of Brand Content at G4. Also, What's Good Games Secret Weapon.
Yeah. That's
and
good.
A general friend of the internet.
Do you miss podcasting?
I do.
Yeah?
I do. And especially miss podcasting with my What's Good homies,
Mm-hmm. Yeah. Yeah, that's good. Anything you want to mention? Like stuff that been working on at G4 that you're allowed to talk about? 'Cause there's certain things that you can't talk about at all.
There are things that I cannot talk about. It's been great, honestly.
Yeah.
The teams are wonderful. I really love what we're trying to do at G4. Like, yes, we're bringing back a comedy network, but it's more than that. Like, we really do want to make legitimate, impactful change for the better in the industry. And it's a goal that I can obviously get behind and one that's really close to my heart.
Yeah, I'm very happy to see that everything's going well and the announcements. I love the surprises. It's pretty cool. Very cool. So.
Some of them are surprises to us, so I'm glad you're feeling it.
Yeah. But we're going to be talking about your favorite game because we had you last time.
Yes.
And it was about Apex Legends. But we're going to be talking about briefly, not a long preview, but it's going to be about Season 9.
Yes.
How excited are you about Season 9?
I am super excited about Season 9. If you can help me out remembering the name of the season, we get many updates. I think it's Legends. We get many updates in Season 9. A lot of them we're not going to have time to talk about today.
Yeah.
But
we'll talk about more like in the future.
We'll talk about more in the future, but there are map changes coming to Olympus. There's a new weapon in the game, the Bowtech bow, or Bowcheck bow, sorry. And there's new meta for the 30-30 repeater. Obviously a lot of character and weapons balancing. This new map changes in Olympus is definitely going to be a pretty impactful. And the thing that we're really excited to talk about right now are the new Legend, Valkyrie, and also the new mode, Arenas.
Now, before we talk about Valkyrie,
yes,
we have to talk about there was like a trailer that came out.
Yeah.
It's like a short animated video.
It was one of their lore videos. It's like 8 minute long.
Yeah, but I love how they added time, like the Titans from Titanfall. Oh, I was like, oh my God. Wait, so originally I thought, oh man, because look, shout out to EA. I want to thank them for giving me access to try out Apex Legends Season 9, which we tried out. I was like, hey, I want you to try it out too, because you're a huge fan too. So
huge fan.
Yeah. So I just love. I thought originally there was gonna be like Titans involved and everything. So I was like, oh man, I'm ready. Everybody's gonna have their Titan. That's what I thought. But then when I saw Valkyrie, when I tried her out like for the first time, I was like, okay, it makes sense. I'm disappointed there's no Titans, but it makes sense. Like the stuff that she does, that her power and all that, her ultimate in the game and stuff. So
and her history is that her father was a Titan pilot. His call sign was Viper, and he passed away. She maybe blamed somebody for his passing, and instead of getting revenge, she decides to fight for a bigger cause and join the Apex games. I'm definitely oversimplifying it. You should watch the short.
It's like 8 minutes, right?
Yeah, it's about 8 minutes long. It's fantastic. They've been doing an incredible job with the story in Apex Legends. I don't know if a lot of listeners are following it, but if you ever get a chance to just binge the lore videos on YouTube, absolutely do it. The writing team is incredible. But the way that they've tied it so closely to the Titanfall universe, of course, we know Apex and the Apex games are part of the same universe, but this really gave it more of a direct connection. It was really, really cool the way they did that. And there is some mystery still left to uncover with the changes coming to Olympus specifically that may have even more ties to that Titanfall universe.
Interesting. That part you surprised me. That part surprised me. But I know before we go to the arenas, because I think that's the highlight of the whole thing. And second is Valkyrie. Right?
We can maybe talk about Valkyrie faster than arenas.
Yeah, but there's a couple minor changes on the new map, right? And they removed which one was the one that they removed completely for this season?
I believe 2 launch towers. Or redeploy balloons from the Olympus map, and that's because they've introduced some new elements to the map that sort of fill in the space there. So they've, of course, have all of the metadata, and Olympus is known as Sniper's Paradise, right? There's lots of long-range combat that you can do, lots of places to pick people off as they're trying to rotate into the map.
Yeah.
And they've added some pieces of ships that have crashed, and they have some organism that is now starting to grow and take over parts of Olympus. So The sightlines are different in season 9 with the new update, and it will be interesting to see what people do now that they can't snipe quite as often, and now that they need to be a little bit more mobile as a team in order to get to safety if they're out of zone. Obviously, Valkyrie has a lot of answers to that challenge, along with other characters. We have our folks that can help us with mobility. We have Pathfinder, we have Octane, but another really interesting thing, again, I'm not going to get too far into the weeds on it, but another interesting thing is these new map elements have loot and some keys. So they're similar to the vaults, where you find a key, you can go unlock the door and get high tier loot, but then everybody else will probably be alerted to that. They'll hear it happening. They'll see you on their map if they're scanning for people, and they might come and try to snatch it from you. So it'll be interesting how that changes the heat map and different close range encounters on Olympus.
You're listening to Gamertag Radio.
All right, let's talk about our sponsor for this episode of Gamertag Radio. It's called Oregon State University Ecampus. As a Gamertag Radio listener, you know what it's like to be part of an engaging online community. And at Oregon State University Ecampus, creating that type of environment for students around the world is what they do best. Join a network of students as you pursue your degree online with Oregon State, an innovative provider of distance education. With over 80 programs to choose from, you can advance your career by earning an in-demand degree in fields like computer science, business, and digital communication arts. I wish I had something like this when I started digital content creation back in the early days for me with online radio and also video. It would have been a lot easier. Plus, I would have learned so much more of the technical side of editing and doing the things the right way and everything like that, right? But this is your opportunity. If you so curious about this, you could go right now and check it out to the website, and it has more information, not only with digital content creation, like digital communication arts, but computer science, business, and a lot more. Highly recommended for you to check it out. Plus, Oregon State Ecampus is ranked number 4 in nation for online education by News, U.S. News, and World Report. And all online programs and classes developed by the same world-class faculty who teach on campus at OSU. So, Gamertag Radio listeners, like I said, this is your opportunity to find out more on how to learn all these stuff, man. And plus, you get a degree from this, man. Highly recommended for you to check it out. And plus, find the OSU program that fits you best. So this is what you do. Go right now to visit ecampus.oregonstate.edu/GTR, and you will see all the information there. Just decide which one you want. And please let us know if there's something that caught your attention from the website. So all you have to do, one more time, go to ecampus.oregonstate.edu/GTR.
This is Gamertag Radio. Voicemail at 786-2737-GTR.
Again, before we go to the most important topic, one more thing about the Battle Royale part. They completely remove what's the name of the map? You're good at this because I'm not good. Kings Canyon. They removed it for season 9.
Yeah, we got Olympus and World's Edge in this season only so far. There's gonna be some changes in there, so you're gonna see once we go in, and then we didn't really try much the Battle Royale part. We were like, I want to see the arenas because I was super excited. New toy. And honestly, I think there's so much potential with the arenas, especially with like esports. You get like absolutely
some like 3 versus 3 in there quick, because I feel like everybody's doing the Battle Royale stuff, but I think 3v3, man, it will be a huge highlight for esports, I think, in my opinion.
Absolutely. And it's wonderful to see Respawn again bringing more of that influence and that learning from Titanfall 1 and 2 with the team versus team. Respawn, you can start to learn their behavior patterns. You can try to figure out what their ticks are, where they like to go, what kinds of loadouts they're going to run with, so you can start to counter and one-up the other team, and you get to face them over and over. One of the things that you and I and even your brother Nano, who we play with very often, complain about when we meet a team and they beat us is like, we absolutely could have taken them. I want a rematch. Like, get us in a 1v1. We'll take you.
Yeah.
And now you get that chance, right? And you get to go up against another team over and over, find a way around their tactics and best them. And then, are we going to get into arenas now?
Yeah, let's go. And then we'll talk about Valkyrie at the end, because
Okay.
she's I think she's a very important character, but we'll talk about that later. But
yeah.
All right, so the arena. So I tried the arenas out. You tried out first than me.
I did, yeah.
Because I was like, no, Ree has to play this first. I know this game means so much to her, so I'm like, all right, let me let her play the game,
Mm-hmm.
and I just want to hear your feedback. So then you mentioned to me, oh my god, this and this and that. But then there was a lot of stuff you want to like keep it as a surprise. You're like, I want you to try it out too. So then I try it out. So my experience, I think I had like 4 rounds.
Okay.
And we won 3.
Yeah.
And the match was done. But I noticed that every round it was getting tougher and tougher. Now they gave me better armor every round.
Yeah.
Now I have more money to buy more weapons.
Mm-hmm.
If I wanted to buy like cells for like shields and stuff like that.
Mm-hmm. So let's back up a second and explain.
Yes.
Maybe.
Okay. Yeah. Sorry.
So people have a little more context on arenas.
So it's 3 versus 3. The map is smaller compared to like the Battle Royale map,
Mm-hmm.
right?
Yeah, different tweaked sections of existing maps.
Yes. So when you start, you're inside your, can you call it like your base?
Yeah,
or
your spawn bubble.
Your spawn bubble, yeah.
Mm-hmm.
And from there, there's going to be like a character where it's like a hologram, and you could buy your whatever you need, your weapons and stuff, right? You only have a certain amount when you start the game. Everybody has the same type of loot.
Right. So you have points that you can spend on different items to build your loadout, right?
Yes.
So you can choose from most of the weapons, not all of them are in there. And you can spend a certain amount for one weapon with all white attachments. Then you can upgrade it with more points to all blue attachments, and then purple, for instance. You have enough slots to get 3 grenades of any type, so you can mix and match. Or if you just want all arc stars, which is the right answer, you can do all arc stars. You can pay for, I think, up to 3 tacticals, I believe. Maybe it's 2.
Yes.
And 1 ultimate, so you can buy 1 ultimate or 2 tacticals instead. And then you can spend points, obviously, on healing. So your health packs or your med kits or your shield batteries or shield cells.
And when sorry, I'm drinking here, but one thing that I notice is the ring. People are going to be asking, oh, so is there a ring?
There is.
There is a ring, and it closes really fast, I notice.
It does.
You have to be like, and I like this because this is a very fast-paced game. It's not like take your time. No. You have to like find each other, find the other team, and just go for it.
Yeah.
Do not waste your time on just hiding. Honestly, there's no time to rest. Like this is a time.
There's no time.
No. And one thing I noticed, your first match, first match actually, it lasted like 10 rounds because you were going back and forth. Like, okay, match point, like from your team and the other team. So how was that experience for you? And what character were you using?
So I was using Bloodhound because I was not. I didn't get first pick. And then as we kept playing, obviously you stay with the characters that you choose. So someone else took Valkyrie. And the way that you can claim victory is that you get 2 wins consecutively, I believe. I'm not sure exactly on that. I may need to check my math once it actually releases. However, the team we were going up against, we kept trading. They would win, we'd win. They win, we win. And so we kept getting the notification, match point, but then the other team would win. So we took a long time to figure out who was going to, claim victory. And we won on our, but it took a lot of rounds. It was great though, because I got to see Valkyrie in action, both on my team and the other team, and learn, what it's like to play with that character, which is very important.
And I noticed that when you were playing, that was the first time they just opened the servers. So people were like, this was like brand new for everybody. Everybody was trying to figure out like what was it they had to do. Like everybody was just learning. But for you, was it like, did it take you a while to learn it right away? Or it was like, okay, I get it now?
It took me a few rounds. I didn't realize for the first couple of rounds that you had multiple weapons to choose from. I was under the impression that you only had, the short range weapons, which are on the first tab of your weapon select when you're picking your loadout. And then I realized a couple rounds later that you could tab over and, there's the R301. So that took me a little bit of time to figure out, but it didn't really affect my game that much. I was also playing with a lifeline on my team, and they were calling down a care package at the beginning of each round, which is really smart because there are some weapons that are only available in those care packages, and that helped us get some additional items that we couldn't afford in those early rounds. But as you play more rounds, you get more currency to spend on your loadout, and you can start upgrading to the purple loadout weapons. You get all of your ultimates and tacticals maxed out. You can max out grenades, and you don't have to make so many choices where it's like, do I want shields or do I want grenades? So
That's good.
It was a pretty quick learning process, I would say.
Now, is it important the kind of character that you choose in the team, because you don't want everybody to be like the same type of class? Which character you think makes sense for arenas in your opinion? Because everybody's gonna have their own character and everything, but for you,
it makes sense to have at least one scout or recon character. We had two, Valkyrie and Bloodhound, and the other team I believe only had Valkyrie. But something that the developers were saying in the preview, and something that I've definitely noticed so far in my time in arenas, is the guns matter more. The gunplay, your positioning, your understanding of the map and player behavior is definitely the deciding factor of who's going to win each gunfight. The character abilities do matter and they will help, but they are not the determining factor. Yeah.
I do have the recording of the whole preview.
Yeah.
I'm just waiting to get the green light for me to release it. If I get an email from EA, I'll probably release it like later this week or something. I think it was a very important audio because it was like a lot of great questions and the stuff that they were saying, the developers about the game and stuff that they wanted to make changes, for this season and everything. So that's coming. Hopefully, fingers crossed, we'll see what happens. But anything else about arenas? Anything else before we go to Valkyrie?
Yeah, that's right. We're trying to keep it short.
I
would say everybody should try arenas. I think it has incredible potential. Anybody who's a fan of Valorant or any of these corridor shooters, like, you're going to feel a lot more space to breathe in Apex arenas because you obviously have the benefit of the verticality of this game and the characters who play in it. And go in with friends for sure. You can random match with people in either duos or trios in arenas. However, I would not recommend it unless you just have really great luck with random matching, because your communication and your synchronicity with your teammates is crucial. You only get one down and one out, and then you've lost the match. So you have to really be in sync with the people you're playing with. Yeah. And I would also say it's not, again, critically important which classes or which characters everyone's playing, but you do really want to have a scout or a recon character, at least one, so you know where the other team is going to go right off the bat, and then you can get a feel for their patterns. Now, and there's incredible potential in this game mode to become competitive. I'm really excited to see what happens on the scene.
Now, for you, before we go to Valkyrie,
yes,
do you see yourself playing this more than Battle Royale? Version of Apex?
I see myself playing both, always. Battle Royale is the, jump in, jump out. It's the quick snack version of, the Battle Royale game that I love, Apex Legends. However, arenas, if I'm going to sit down and play for a few hours and my homies, my OGs are online, I'm going to arenas. I want to prove dominance over another team that thinks that they have their stuff together. I want to match wits against them and really see who can come out on top. I can see me spending a lot of time in arenas.
Yeah, I'm excited. I'm excited to try this out. So everybody, make sure to check out arenas once it comes out for season 9. That's May 4th is the release date for season 9.
Star Wars Day.
Force be with you. All right, so Valkyrie. Let's talk about her.
Let's talk about her.
So, do you have a love-hate relationship with this character, or do you think this is like the character where, okay, it makes sense, I see why they made a character like this?
I see why they made a character like this. I don't have any hate for Valkyrie yet. We'll see how annoying she is to play against over time. But for right now, my initial reaction to seeing her abilities was that she's covering ground that other characters have already sort of taken up space in. But seeing her in action and understanding how her 3 passive abilities work together with her tactical and her ultimate, it makes sense to me why she's included. And it's going to be interesting to see what she does to the meta. Another thing that the developers mentioned was maybe dialing up the damage that Octane takes, because he's being chosen so often in really high level teams. Same with Horizon. And it's very clear that for a competitive player, a character with extreme movement ability is highly desirable. We don't see Caustic and Gibraltar being picked as often, even though I love my big boys. But someone like Valkyrie is really interesting because, similar to Pathfinder and Octane, she lends movement and repositioning to her team as well. So yeah, I can see the value in adding a character like this, and obviously the tie-in to the Titanfall lore is very valuable.
Yeah, I know one of the things you could do in the game, her ultimate is she'll fly up, but you could grab like your teammates and everybody could fly up with her up to the sky. Yeah. I don't know if you could go far compared to like when you launch from the balloon.
So it seems as though it's the height of a normal jump tower in regular battle royale mode.
Okay.
In arenas, that is lessened because you don't have as far to move in the arena map. That would be probably the only difference between a lot of the characters when they go from battle royale to arenas. Because I know this is a question that would probably come up. Are the character abilities scaled differently in arenas from the way that they are in battle royale? And the answer is largely no. Most of them are 1-to-1, except some of the movement abilities have been dialed back to match the amount of room you have in the map. However, her ultimate ability, called Skyward, when you launch and you go up, you can choose to join her if you're on her team. And one of her passives is that once she's in the air, she can actually do a scan of the area, and any other player she has direct line of sight to. So not through walls or anything like Bloodhound, but anybody she can see with direct line of sight is marked as an enemy on the map. And whether they join her or whether they don't, the teammates can see it. So there are definitely encounters that I can envision where Valkyrie chooses to go skyward, comes straight back down to where everybody is, but now your whole team knows where the enemies are.
Okay.
So it's very, very powerful. So that's one of her passives, is that ability to scan. She's also a recon character, so she can scout at the beacons to see where the next circle is going to be. And then a third passive ability for Valkyrie, this girl's packing a lot, are her VTOL jets. So she has what's essentially a double jump, but she can direct it and change her movement direction in a hover with her jetpack. And she cannot shoot while she's jetpacking actively, but as she's falling out of the sky, you best believe you're going to see some amazing shots pulled off with a Valkyrie falling out of the sky and just like grabbing somebody with a longbow.
Yeah. Now, do you think this character is overpowered?
Well, we haven't even talked about her tactical yet.
No. Okay, all right, could go for it. I'm just saying it's half a
She's got a lot going on, right? So Valkyrie's tactical is called Cluster Missile, and it's a mix between Bangalore's ultimate and Fuse's tactical. So it shoots, I think it was like 6 or 12 missiles. They fall in a very small area, but they do creep in advance the way Bangalore's ultimate does. And it's enough to get, a Rampart out from behind her cover. It's enough to, come down on a crypto that's hiding and using his drone. It's enough to move people out of the way. And if you're not careful, it can, take your whole shield down. So she's pretty powerful. I gotta say, we'll see how long it lasts before she gets nerfed. I don't know if it'll happen or if the balance is really on point with this character, but she can do a lot. She can scout for the team, she can reposition the team, and she can also move other enemies out of the place where they're currently hiding. So she's got a lot of power.
Yeah. Huh. Do you see yourself using her? Because I
absolutely.
I used her a couple times during arenas. I got destroyed. But then I use the normal character that I use, right? But with her, I don't know. It's like I like characters that have like cool ultimates that is going to help me to defeat the enemies quicker. Her is more of like, okay, everybody, let's go to another location. Let's fly out. That's how I see her as. I don't see her as like powerful compared to like the other characters, in my opinion. But to you said that she is overpowered. So I don't know. I'm maybe because I was playing it the wrong way. I guess I don't know.
I mean, there's no right or wrong way to play a character. You do whatever feels comfortable for you. There are ways that are more successful than others.
Yeah,
but
exactly.
For Valkyrie, the reason I use the word powerful is because she can do so many types of things for the team. She can reposition the team. She can get you from the danger zone into safety. She can get everybody to height advantage in a very short amount of time. She can also outmaneuver other players who are only on the ground. So if you're not with a Horizon or an Octane, your Valkyrie can like go behind enemy lines, dodge around things in a way that they won't be expecting you to. She's not forced to run on the ground. And she can also launch those missiles and force people out of hiding. So that's why I say powerful, is that she has a lot of options. So for a player who likes variety, Valkyrie is a very enticing pick.
You like her attitude?
I love her attitude. She's funny. She makes jokes.
She does.
It's really good. I mean, the writing in Apex is fantastic. So Valkyrie's no exception.
Yeah. Anything else about Season 9? Why do people should be excited about Season 9, in your opinion?
I say people should be excited about every season of Apex.
Yeah. Because you know what it is? I really enjoyed this season. This season was fun. It was a lot of fun, and I can't wait to try this out. And I'm excited about Season 10 because that's like the big one. Every season is exciting, but it's number 10 now. It's in the double digits now. Like it's
in the double digits.
you know?
I mean, we're a ways out from the launch of Apex. Season 9 is really exciting for lore nerds. It's really exciting for players who are highly competitive. Arenas, like I said, has incredible potential to really make a splash on the competitive gaming scene. Really excited to see what happens there. But Valkyrie, she's going to change meta for sure, at least for a little bit of time, in a way that I think similar to Horizon has, where you see Horizon in most top team picks.
Oh my God. One more thing I forgot.
Yeah.
The bow. The new weapon.
The bow check.
We got to talk about that very quick.
I haven't gotten a chance to use it.
No, but the stuff that we know, because there's videos that we've seen, if you use it, you hurt somebody. Let's say you shoot the arrow to somebody and they get hurt and they run away. I know there is a trail of blood that you could track them where they're going, but you need a certain character for that, right? To track it, or is with any character? Because I don't know. I'm not sure.
The details on that, I'm not 100% clear on.
Okay.
However, I would imagine Bloodhound can see the
Bloodhound
the trail pretty easily.
Yeah.
But the bow check is really interesting. So arrows are a new ammo type. And they will be rare. It will be difficult to find arrows. They are not in abundance in the map the way other ammo types are. However, when you fire a bow, you can retrieve the arrow. So if it fires and it lodges into a piece of the environment, you can walk up to it and it'll automatically add it back into your inventory. However, if you shoot it into a player and they don't die, they just got an arrow sticking out their arm.
The whole time. And the funny thing is, when they do die, it will be in their death crate. So you have to go actively put it back into your inventory as you're searching through their death box. But that the arrows will be interesting to see how they work. As far as I know, the fire pattern follows a typical arrow. There has some draw and some draw distance and a drop off. It's going to work similar to the 30-30, has, a mid to long range, and it has an alternate fire mode if you grab the hop up for it, which will make it more of a spray fire pattern, and that will make it more into a short range weapon, but much stronger and less accuracy. But if you can pick people off with a wingman, then you're going to love the bow. Okay. All right. I wanted to bring that up because it's a new weapon. So. Yeah, I mean, it has two hop ups. So one for that alternate fire mode, and another one for arrow draw tempo. So if you draw perfect shots, then you can fire faster and faster. And it's going to be interesting to see if that one becomes popular, because I know the 30-30 was not what a lot of people were hoping for. Yeah, everybody was excited, and then it just died down. Yeah, right away. But I think this one, it's a high difficulty curve on that one. I think this one's going to be it. Like the one where people are going to be very excited and they're going to be using it. Like you said, it's going to be rare too. So yeah, but those bows are just cool. Yeah, they're just awesome. Yeah, it's really cool. Really cool. All right, Ree, we're going to wrap it up here. You want to mention your social media, anything people can follow you, because you post some cool stuff all the time, and updates, from D4 and other projects you're working on? I think it's important to mention your social media.
Yeah, well, folks who follow What's Good Games know that they're taking a hiatus for a little while. There's a couple bundles of joy on the way, and they need some attention from the leaders at the helm for What's Good. So I will probably be popping up there maybe once more before they go on summer break. But obviously, you can always catch me at my handle on Twitter. That's Rihanna Tweets Now, RIANA Tweets Now. And I'm not in G4 content, but I am behind the wheel for a lot of stuff that we do in social media and a lot of our marketing efforts. So keep an eye on that.
Yeah, and she's always like retweeting any announcements, so make sure to follow her. So, it's super important. Ree, just want to say thank you for joining me. See, every time there's new content of Apex, I want to have you here.
I love it. I'm the Apex correspondent.
Yes, reporting live. Yeah, you're good. You're good. And honestly, any other game in the future, like probably... I want to try out Returnal.
Yeah.
I heard it's tough. And there's a couple other games I want to get. And I want us to play and talk about it.
I love that.
I love recording with you. It's so much fun.
I love recording with you. This is good.
It's always good. It's always good. So yeah, everybody, make sure to follow her and let her know any questions about Apex.
Yeah. Please send me Apex questions. I want to talk about Apex more.
Yeah. Yeah. She's awesome. All right, everyone. Make sure to follow her. And Ree, love you.
Love you.
And thanks. Let's do it.
This is Gamer Tag Radio. Voicemail at 786-2737-GTR.
All right, and that was my conversation with Rihanna. I hope you guys enjoyed it. And please send us feedback. Let us know your thoughts about the conversation and everything, and we'll go from there. All right, Pete, so we have questions here. Now, before I start reading this, for those that are listening and watching this, the next episode, the live recording next week, which is going to be P in Paris, send in questions, and we're going to randomly select a winner, and Pete doesn't know about this because I'm going to surprise him. We're going to give out 2 glasses for free, thanks to our friends at Shaq Eye Gear. They're going to give us 2 free ones to give out to our listeners. But if you want to enter, you have to send us questions, and we're randomly going to select sometime next week, and we'll send it to y'all. There you go. What do you think about that, Pete?
That's I don't even have my glasses, dude. So I mean, hey, I know. you could potentially get glasses before I do.
Yeah,
exactly. There you go. All right, so it's time for fan mail.
Fan mail at gamertagradio.com.
Again, send us questions. You can win some glasses. Shaq Eye Gear. All right. So I have a voicemail, but I'm going to save that for later. I'm going to go with Pete. I can't go to Discord because I'm streaming. Can you go to fan mail on Discord? And for those who are listening, you could join Discord. What's the address? .gg? Is it? .gg/GTR?
Discord.gg/GTR.
Damn, I'm good. All right, there you go. All right. I'm so good. All right, yeah. Go for it. Go for it.
Am I just picking up a random one here?
There's 2 last ones. The latest ones is 2 of them.
Okay. All right. This is from Retry. I am sorry. All right. This is Ryan. I'm just going to use your regular name here. Do you believe the rumors that the next Battlefield coming most likely in November will be current gen only? I have a tough time believing EA will leave that last gen money on the table. I hope this rumor is true, though. Thanks.
Okay. 2 things. I hope it's not cross-platform or
cross-play?
Cross-play. It's like, so it's more of like PlayStation 4, PlayStation 5, Xbox One, Xbox Series X and S, right? That's what they're talking about. I think it's fine if they do it just strictly next gen. I think it's been over a year now. I think it'll be fine if they make that happen. Now, if they do decide to go also from last gen too, I'm fine with it too. It doesn't bother me. I just want this game to succeed, man. Because honestly, the past few Battlefields has been kind of meh. and I know Paris mentioned this on the show multiple times. He thinks that Battlefield is going to be on Game Pass. Well, I hope. Let's see. But yeah, I'm fine with it. What about you, Pete? Do you think if it goes strictly next gen, are you going to be okay with it? I'm okay with it for me personally.
I mean, I'm on PC, so it doesn't bother me. It does seem counterintuitive to put a game on a console or on a platform that does not have the reach that your previous generation does. I know that they're trying to push things to the newer level, to the newer platforms, but with the difficulty right now in people trying to get an Xbox Series X or a PlayStation 5, you still can't find them. Mm-hmm. How are you going to put games and limit your revenue stream?
Yeah.
Think about it like that. At the end of the day, yes, they're here to make amazing video games that give us these fantastic experiences. But if 30% of your player base, of your previous generation's player base, is all that has, and I just threw out 30%. I don't know the actual percentage. If that's all you have, that you're going to cut your revenue stream, drastically. You've got 140 million PlayStation 4 owners plus, and then you're only going to hit a certain percentage of that 140 million potential buyers. I don't know,
but it's complicated because I'm always about supporting old consoles and new consoles and let everybody play, because not everybody could afford the new ones, which I completely understand. But at the same time, it's like, seeing what happened with Cyberpunk and other games, like, are they going to be still supporting it after launch? Are they going to focus on the next consoles? Because look at Destiny, for example. When Destiny came out for both old gen and new gen consoles, right? They stopped supporting the old ones and they moved on and started supporting the new ones. But there were certain things they couldn't do because this game was designed for old consoles. So it's just complicated. That's why I'm like, look, I don't care. They could go with both. But if it makes sense for the studio to do the games for next gen, that's fine. That's fine with me too. You know what I'm saying? I'm not a developer, so I'm just talking how Paris says out of my tuckus. It's like, but it's that. I'm just like, I just want to have a good experience. I don't want a situation where we all go online and then playing with people that have the old console is laggy. Their loading it takes forever. Like I don't want that. I don't want the experience like that. But if they could fix it in a way where we're not gonna see that at all, I'm fine with it too. So I'm like in the middle about all this. So, but look, Pete, you're PCs. You don't worry about that. So you're like, whatever. But as a gamer, thinking with like a bigger picture, do you think it makes sense to just stick with next gen and forget about the old consoles, the current gen, and forget about old consoles?
That's a tough.
He's thinking like, but see, you're one of those, like, you care about graphics and this, and like I get it. Like I get it. I completely get it.
If you can give me the same quality experience on there, yes, right. I have no problem sharing it across platforms or generations. But I do know that at some point you have to give it up, right? You have to.
He's like,
you just. No, I had to do that because the camera was messed up.
Yeah. I have to do that too.
But you have to, at some point, cut the line and say, okay, look, we're gonna just. If their sales were up to par, then I'd say yes, go ahead and cut the line and only push for the new generation. But
yeah,
if they don't have the inventory out there in the wild, how do you do that and look at your shareholders in the face and say it's going to be okay?
Yeah. All right. So I'm going to play an audio. We're going to go to the next question because we'll be here forever talking about this. All right. So I'm going to play this audio. Pete, you already know what to do if you want to hear it. So here goes. I only heard it once. I can't remember exactly the question, but we're going to go for it. Here it goes.
Howdy, gentlemen. It's Game Notes from New Jersey, and I hate to be that gamer, but I want to talk to you about the current industry standard for launching a video game and what state that game's going to be in. It seems to grow widely more acceptable that they need more time or they don't have the resources. But now they don't have the time, don't have the resources, and they're launching games with no offline mode. I would love to see way more leadership, not only from professional journalism, but from content creators about this issue. There's got to be a way to go about this without ignorance, without anger. Because to say this is not a serious problem in this industry is, to me, very disingenuous. I don't go see a Marvel movie and expect the CGI not to be fully rendered, especially when I'm paying top dollar day one price. What is the best way to go about this besides spamming the, Discord and, getting on the Twitter and being your stereotypical angry gamer? How would leadership address this issue? I know we have marketing ties and you do content creating. You need to feed the cycle, but there's got to be a line somewhere. Someone's got to lead the vanguard on this. How would anyone go about this the right way? Because someone needs to start talking about this. Let me know what you guys think about it.
All right. Well, thanks for the excuse me. Thanks for the voicemail. And I think that's a great question. But here's the thing, and I'm gonna take it back when we were growing up back in the days, playing these games and everything. And look, when you purchase a game back in the early days, that's it. That was the game. There was no updates. There was no patch. Nothing. That was it. So if the game was a little bit slow in certain levels, that was the game. Even if you paid 60, 70, even $90 in the early days, that's it. There was no way for you to send feedback or anything. Now there's so many different ways to send feedback to the studios, to the publishers, to everybody, more than ever. Social media, Discord. We didn't have that back in the days. And I'm going to give you a perfect example. When Xbox announced that they were going to increase the price of Xbox Live, what happened? The community was being vocal. Some were just posting nonsense, but there was a lot that just like, hey, it's not cool. We don't like that. Same thing when PlayStation announced that they were going to close down PSP stores, PlayStation 3 store, and PS Vita. People were being vocal. Social media, Discord, etc. And it changed Sony's minds. Like, hey, this is not good. We made a mistake, right? That's how you're supposed to do it. And I think that's the right way. There's no other way, in my opinion. That's like a personal email. Like, hey, let me just send an email to Jim Ryan. Hey, Jim, can you take that? There's no way to do that. I think it's important to stay in touch and just communicate especially with community managers from different companies. That's the right way how to do things. Or if it's possible, talk to your favorite content creator. Doesn't matter if it's a podcast or YouTuber. Maybe some of them also have contacts that maybe they could talk about on their show, and maybe this will influence the companies to change their minds. Like sometimes, and Pete knows about this, like we'll go to pre-pandemic days, we'll go to the studio and we get to play these games really early, and we'll give our feedback to the developers and producers, etc. And sometimes they want us to talk about that on our show. Sometimes if it's like way too early, it doesn't make sense to talk about it right there. But you build that relationship, and they still want to get that feedback. One thing that Aaron Greenberg said this to us multiple times throughout the years on our show, in person, at E3. He tell us, I love when you guys will tell us things that you guys don't like or stuff that you think we should do better, because it challenges our team to make the product better. But if we don't say it and we just stay quiet and just complain, it's not going to help the companies to make changes, man. It's not going to help the industry overall. So that's my opinion. There's no other way. And I think that's the best and easiest way to just post your feedback online and talk to the community managers and Discord, etc. You know what I'm saying? So that's what I think. But remember, don't be surprised if there's companies like developers that will go online and search through social media and they'll find your tweet. Don't be surprised about that, because I heard many times throughout the years that they'll do that. They'll go online or they'll go to Twitch or you listen to podcasts just to see the feedback from everybody, you know? So what you think about this, Pete?
No, you're 100% correctly. We've done this hundreds of times. Whether we've been invited out to a developer studio to do gameplay. Mandy and I years ago were brought out to, just after PAX, we were shipped out to I don't even know if the studio's even around anymore. Actually, Danger Close was the developer. They were working on Medal of Honor. They got absorbed by Respawn eventually. But we were out there for a week. We did Medal of Honor Warfighter, and we did 2-a-days where we were there in the morning. We played the game for 3 hours. We got back to the developer. We sat for an hour and a half while eating lunch and gave them feedback on what they had worked on the night before. Then we'd play for another 3 hours, have another gameplay session or another developer Q&A session talking about on what they had fixed while we were eating lunch. And it's just, we did that for 5 days straight. And yes, we were fortunate enough to play video games for 5 days, for 5 days straight with EA developers. But when you sit there and you really go down that path, you're taking notes. You're like, okay, the shotgun was doing damage from, what it was like 30 feet, but it seemed underpowered when you think in reality of what a shotgun should do, or the LMG didn't kick enough. It was just like a straight laser shot. It's all that feedback went back to the developers and they iterated on it every time we gave it to them. We gave them the feedback. So, don't think that, it doesn't go without review or, some kind of internal QA or review period. It absolutely does. And again, reaching out, whether it be via social media, whether you're on Reddit, community managers are paid to go and seek out these avenues of where us as gamers are venting or we're cheering regardless. But you can always do it. And this is the most important thing, because we've seen it time and time again where people mouth off with no regard to the human being on the other side of the screen, and with their entitled expectations. Understand that developers work a very, very difficult schedule, right? To put forth effort and it comes across on social media, we come across, and I say we, but I'm just saying in general, gamers come across as entitled punks at the end of the day, because they have this high level of expectation. And then when their video game doesn't come out the way they feel, and I understand as a consumer, we paid $40, $50, $60, $70 for this video game. We have an expectation. But at the same time, when you go back and let's say your phone keeps having an issue and it keeps rebooting, you go to the Genius Bar to go fix it. Do you yell and scream and yell obscenities and threaten the life of the person in the blue shirt at your local, Apple store? No. You talk to them in a professional, courteous manner, and, explain what's going on, and they fix it. Same happens if your fridge from Best Buy goes down. It doesn't, you don't have any ice. You call up Best Buy or you call up, the manufacturer, and you politely ask them, hey, this is happening. I need it fixed. They fix it. You buy a car. Same exact thing. It's not, it doesn't do what it was marketed to do. You take it back to the dealer. Software is not the same. Software in the sense it is kind of the same thing. You do go back to the developer and say, hey, look, this is the problem. You don't yell and scream, and you don't yell obscenities, and you don't threaten their lives. They're human beings just like you. They put their pants on or skirt on or whatever the same way we all do. So just go back, provide your feedback, and hopefully it'll be addressed soon. But at the end of the day, we can do. That is one avenue, and obviously the other is you vote for your wallet with your wallet. If you see that a certain, and I'm not going to call out, publishers, et cetera, but if you see that a certain title or developer doesn't always put games out to your specific liking, then don't support it until after it's been fixed at launch. You can wait. You're not required to buy them day one. So
yeah,
there's multiple ways of doing it, but at the end of the day, just do it. Just do it courteously. That's all it is. Just be a human being. just tell them, hey, this is what's going on, and hopefully,
yeah.
fix it.
Look, our voice is important, and it's the way we communicate with these companies of like stuff that we don't like and or stuff that we feel like, man, they could do better. Voice your opinion. I'm going to give you a perfect example. And Pete forgot about this because he never brought this up. But Pete went to a community event for Army of Two years ago. This is like, way back. I forgot what year it was.
Yeah,
but
Jesus Christ. Wow.
Pete went. It was him and a couple other content creators went to the studio, got to play the game. They didn't like there were certain parts of the game that they didn't like. And guess what? Because of their feedback, the developers decided to delay the game for I don't know how long. I know it was like a month or two. I can't quite remember. But it was because of your feedback. So a lot of people don't know about that. There's certain cases where this is when investors are involved with all that stuff that the company need to release these games, and there's no way for them to delay it again because it will hurt when it comes like behind the scenes investments and all like that. That's not good. So, that happened. Even this, man, like another example, Division 2, they decided to stop doing the DLC, right? I think this was like a year ago, and people were being vocal. The fans like, no, we love this game. We play it, blah, blah, blah. It's not mainstream like a game like Fortnite or Apex, etc., right? But there was this community of people that like, we want new content. And guess what? Massive decided to create new content later this year for the game, and it was because the community was being vocal. And that's how you use your voice. You have to do it the right way. It's not the death threats and spamming, and that's not going to work, because that's when companies are not going to even bother reading your feedback because you're posting nonsense online, But if you do it the right way, it will work. You know what I'm saying? So, Pete, you want to talk about that? The before we go to the next question, the Army of Two experience. I know it was a long time ago, but I think that was a perfect example. That was a perfect example of how powerful our voices are, man. Like when it comes to like providing feedback to these companies.
Absolutely. I mean, that was, wow, I want to say 2009, 2008. I was, fortunate enough to get, an opportunity to go play Army of Two with a bunch of people, Console Kings, Deacon from, yeah, it was long, right? It was a long time ago. And, they took our feedback seriously, and it wasn't just mine. I don't want to take all the credit. It wasn't just mine. It was the feedback of everybody. It was the feedback of everybody that participated in those sessions. And as a direct result of that, they delayed the game by 6 months. I mean, that is what is to be expected, obviously, right? We played the game. They took our opinion seriously because we were all, established and known in the community. And they were like, okay, well, these people, they know what they're talking about. Obviously, they've played the game before. And I think it was Army of Two 40th Day. I don't know if it was the first. I can't remember if it was the first or the second one.
I think it was the first one. It was the first one. I remember because you got to check your emails. Maybe I don't know if you have emails from way back, but but I think it was the first one in my opinion. But anyways, the message is your voice is powerful, Pete. Absolutely. My voice is important. The people are listening and watching this. Your voice is important. Just do it the right way. And these companies, they're gonna have people that are gonna be reading all the feedback, and they're gonna take it back. Because look, no developer want to release a game buggy or having a bad experience. They've been working on this for years. Why are they gonna release a game bad? They don't want that. They want people to be like, "Oh my God, I love your work." That gets the developers excited, So you just got to do it the right way, and trust me. The more that we post our voice out there and our feedback out there, it's gonna make our experience as a whole a lot better, So,
absolutely.
Yeah. So, anything else before we go to the next question? The final question.
That's it.
All right, final question, Pete. Read it. It's on Discord. That's the final one.
Okay, that's the last one. Here's a fun question with the Mortal Kombat movie that just came out this past week. What do you guys think is the best video game movie in your opinion? What would be the worst?
Ooh, the best? All right, I'll mention the best in my opinion. It was the Final Fantasy VII animated movie that came out. I can't remember the exact name, but I really enjoyed that one. That one was really good, in my opinion. The worst, there's a couple, man. I think I will go with the Super Mario Brothers movie. That was the worst I ever seen. Ever. That was total nonsense. That was pretty bad. Okay. Really, really bad. So what about you?
Okay. So I took some time on this one.
Avid True, that's what it's called. Thanks, Cool 672 in the chat.
Cool. So I'll start off with the bad ones and then I'll go with the first. Or with the good ones, right? So the bad movies, I'd say Doom from I think it was 2017.
Ooh, I forgot about that one. Ooh.
That was horrible. Okay,
and
was
the first person,
horrible.
they showed the first person.
Yeah, that was horrible. And then we're gonna go back in time. 2006, Blood Rain.
Terrible.
Horrible.
The
movie.
Worst. I think that's, you know what, you beat me on that one. That has to be the worst video game movie I've ever seen in my life.
And then because of the relevancy of this conversation, Mortal Kombat Annihilation 1997. That was bad. That movie was bad.
Was this the first Mortal Kombat movie?
I think so.
All right, so I have a love and hate relationship with that movie. So I love the fighting scenes.
Okay.
I just felt like the story was just all over the place.
No, it was horrible. It was horrible, and I think it is the first one. Just from the
what was the name of the actor that was playing Raiden back in the day? That one?
James Remar.
Yeah, he's just funny, but I don't take him serious.
No. With Johnny Cage and all. No, it was bad. The bet was bad.
Look, but at that time was the best one. At that time, there was nothing. Street Fighter was pretty bad too. Street Fighter with Van Damme. It was terrible. All right, go ahead. What's the next one?
All right, so the good movies. Resident Evil 2002, first one. The second one would just I think it's 6 or 7 years ago. The Tomb Raider movie. Not
that was
not the ones with Angelina Jolie, but I can't remember her name.
That was pretty good. I like that.
That was actually I like that one. And then surprisingly, Warcraft 2016.
Oh, I'd never seen it.
I actually dug it. I mean, considering that it was all animated, and it was, I really enjoyed it. I really, really enjoyed Warcraft. So
yeah. Now, but this is not a film. The Witcher is not a film; it's a series.
It's a TV show. Yeah. So
it's a series. So yeah, okay. But I like how they're taking all these games and turning into like a series too. Like I know recently. There's a lot of animated movies, animated series too that's coming on Netflix. That is based on games, and look, it's gotten better throughout the years. It's gotten a lot better.
Surprisingly, I know Cool Sick in the chat just dropped Detective Pikachu as a movie. Yeah. For me, I would go back and say the original Pikachu movies, like Pikachu, the first one, Pikachu 2000, and then the third one. But I mean, those have symbolic, emotional ties to it because I always watched them with my son growing up, right? So especially the Pikachu TV shows and the movies, those were like our bonding thing. Those were our bonding cartoons. Like that's where we I sat there and that was his pride and joy. That's what he loved. So I did everything to make sure that he had them for viewing. So ordinarily I would have probably put a Pokemon up in there, a Pokemon movie in there, but I mean if we're talking just feature films, I'd have to say those three. So
my last thing, have you watched the Mortal Kombat movie?
Yes. Actually, I watched it this morning after I watched the UFC.
Okay, so I have a love and hate relationship with that movie. I know something about Mortal Kombat. So I'm not no spoilers, but this is the part that I'm like, what? So Scorpion, he, when you go to the origins, he speaks Japanese. Where he learned English through, once he come back as the character, he's like, "Get over here!" I'm like, "Wait a minute, how
many years passed though? How many years?
I don't know.
Passed?
I find it. Look, this fighting scenes, I loved it. I think it was phenomenal, right? Story, I don't know, man. Like it's like Rihanna, my girlfriend, she's like, oh, this is awesome. For me, it was good. It was good. I had a great time watching it, but there were some parts I'm like it was cheesy saying flawless victory. Like, I don't, you need to do that. Like, why you have to say these things from the game? You know, I don't know. Personally, I'm just being super picky, but overall, I think it was a good experience. I think give it like an 8, 7.5. It was good.
Wow, that's generous. I don't know if I'd get an 8 out of 10. An 8 out of 20, maybe, but I don't know if I would have given it an 8 out of 10.
What would you give it?
Probably say a 5 or a 6.
Wow, that's low, Pete. That's really low.
It's better than average. It's a 5 is an average score, right? But I don't know if I would give it a 7.5, 8. Come on, man.
No, but because I just love the okay. The locations where they were filming was good compared to the old one.
There
was
like 3 sets. There was 3 sets.
Yeah, but it's my opinion. Like, I'm not forcing you. Like, I'm just saying. Like, I like the certain things in the movie. I think the characters, the actors for these characters in the game, perfect. Even though there was no Johnny Cage in there, but that was a different story there. But
well, if you think about it, the main character is a replacement.
Not really. That's spoilers, but let's just go for it. Right. Yeah.
I'd give it a strong 6.
6. Okay, I give it a 7.5. 7.5. That's my final. Yeah, there you go.
I mean, for like mindless entertainment, if you're not going in expecting like Gone with the Wind type like writing and acting, then yes, you'll probably enjoy it. There were some moments where the wife and I chuckled or even giggled, like uncontrollably out of some scenes. But yeah, as long as you're not going in there expecting a phenomenal movie, I mean it's 5.
I tell you who's my favorite character in that whole movie, Kano. The actor did a phenomenal job as him, I think, personally. Everybody else was questionable. I don't know. It was like, it's okay. It's all good. All right. Well, all right. So that's answered the question. That was pretty cool. Fan mail. Remember, you want to win a free Shaq Eye gear? Send your questions, and we randomly will select a winner sometime next week. All right. All right, so head over to gamertagradio.com. Listen to our past episode. Thank you for listening to this episode, man. It was actually a lot of fun talking to Pete about all these topics and everything, man. If you would like to find us on any podcast app, just search for Gamertag Radio. Subscribe, follow us, share the content. It will help us out to increase our listens. It will help us out big time. And if you would like to be part of our family discussion or segment, here's how you can contact us.
Send us your feedback or questions. Give us a call at 786-273-7GTR. Email us at fanmail@gamertagradio.com or leave a message on speakpipe.com/gamertagradio.
P, anything else before we wrap it up here?
Rest in peace, Black Rob.
Shock G,
rest in peace, DMX, who just had that amazing procession in Brooklyn in front of the Barclays Center just a few days ago. Actually, it was yesterday. Yeah, man. Seeing our I hate to bring it down on a down note after such a good show that we've had here, but yeah, man. Gotta give our favorite artists and creators their flowers now while they're alive, while they can. Yeah, that's about it.
Yeah, you know what? A quick story, because a lot of people don't know about this, but we got invited to interview DMX. Man, what year was that, Pete? I don't remember.
Was that when we went to Revolutions to see?
Revolution. Yeah. So this what happened. So we got invited. We went inside free. We watching his performance. He performed Slippin', I remember. And so it was not only us. There was other media outlets that were going to interview him. I think it was MySpace Music and a couple other local Miami outlets. And I don't know what happened. And look, this is the thing. I mentioned people this. When you are a music journalist or planning to like interview music artists, especially in the hip hop hip hop scene. These artists are pretty random. One day they could be like, yeah, they're in good mood, and some days just like, I don't want to talk to anybody. So I don't know what happened that DMX, after he finished his performance, he's like, yeah, I don't want to do no interview. So we were just there like, okay, and we didn't do it, but it was cool seeing him live. I think that was my first time seeing him perform live, first time. So yeah, and I was there with Pete. Pete, were you living in Miami or you were in West Palm at that time? I don't remember.
I think we were in Miami. I want to say I was in Kendall. Yeah, I was in Kendall at the time.
Yeah. So yeah, that was like the last time we got to see DMX. And hey, we almost interviewed him. So yeah, that was cool. Just want to say that.
Yeah, let's just give the flowers that we can to our favorite artists and creators now while we can. And yeah, man.
Yep. All right. So we're going to wrap it up here. Thank you for listening. Until next time, we're out. Peace.
Thanks for listening to Gamertag Radio. Be sure to like us on Facebook and follow us on Twitter.